Okay guys, we're going to talk about estrogen-fed society. Dr. Robert Cassar, eartheracademy.com, and of course, Hodo, the star of the show. Now, if we're talking about an estrogen-fed society, I'm going down to feed the sheepies right now, my new daughters that I just adopted, and one son too. So you'll see him in a sec. Bah! Hey guys, you can see him right there. But an estrogen-fed society, what does that mean? Well, it means maybe that we're fed estrogen, but how can you tell if you've been infected by all this estrogen? And of course, what is estrogen? Sort of like a, just a little simple course on hormones, right? Estrogen is a specific compound and molecule that gives feministic, or feminine characteristics. Testosterone gives masculine or male characteristics, right? And men are supposed to have higher amounts of testosterone and just a little bit of estrogen, right? And I'm going to get into a sec, how do you test to see if you've had too much estrogen, okay? Now, females, they have more estrogen than the males do, right? But they have a little bit of testosterone too, because testosterone, what does that do? Well, it makes you do things. Testosterone makes you do, and what do you think estrogen does? For your feelings. Makes you feel, right? So this is important to know. You can go ahead and see that there's a lot of people that I see that have high estrogen. And that could be the children too. How do you know that you have high estrogen? You got to go to the doctor to get a blood test? Maybe. But maybe you could go ahead and just do a physical examination and see if you've got the bud. Got the bud. And what bud are we talking about? Okay, drink your bud, right? Your Budweiser. Or do you have the bud? Okay, the mammillary bud right here. Okay, and you'll see, I'll put some pictures in this video so you can see what gynecomastia looks like. But gynecomastia means that you get a swelling of the areolar tissue, which is mammillary tissue, right? And you have this button, okay, not the nipple we're talking about, but this is how you check and see if you have that. Grab your tissue here and see if you could pinch this thing. See if you feel a bud, okay, right behind the nipple. See if you feel a bud back there, and push it hard and see if you feel a bud in that thing. Okay, same thing, do the other side, because some people just have it on one side, right? Pinch the bud and see if it hurts. See if you can feel a ball, okay, in there. Remember, you're a guy, right? You're pregnant. You got mammillary glands. Okay, this is one of the simplest ways for you to be able to see. And remember, I've done a lot of retreats. I test everybody to see if you've got the estrogen infection, right? The mammillary glands, are they swollen? Okay, are you lean as a man? Remember, you're supposed to be lean. I'm 60 years old. Of course you're supposed to be lean. And since I've changed my diet, remember, I've cut out all things that right now were feeding me estrogen before. Are we a estrogen-fed society? Well, what do you eat? What is estrogen in? Remember? Think about it. So we'll go over right now, let's just go over plant estrogens, because there's also meat estrogens. Most of the meat that you buy in the store, most of the stuff you guys buy, okay, I don't buy it, is commercially grain-fed meat. And when they feed all that moldy hay, and I even know some of the farmers, remember I live in farmland here, okay, they don't do this, but they told me, they tell me the stories of if you want to get yourself a big fat cow, okay, what do you do? With diabetes, of course, you put a mold pill in its ear, right? You have these certain types of well, you feed a moldy grain, moldy soy cake, moldy corn, and not only that, the mold member turns into estrogen, stimulates the body. That's why they got to give them antibodies, antibiotics, vaccines, and hormones, right? But you've got yourself a secondary problem because all that soy, remember soy is a huge amount of phytoestrogen. Tofu, same stuff. All that different type of stuff that everybody thinks that's good for them, right? You're getting pushed into being, maybe if you're a guy, turn into a soy boy. And what's a soy boy? Well, that's a boy or a young man that doesn't have a lot of male characteristics. And why is the case, is the question, right? Why is the case? Part of it's from your food, part of it's from the wireless tech, okay? Part of it's because of the heavy metals, okay, that are in your water supply, right? Your air, the pollution. A lot of different factors, but let's go ahead and stop the estrogen from coming into your food. So let's just go over real quick here. Soy, high estrogen, okay, look it up, phytoestrogen. Phyto means plant, and estrogen, plant estrogen. So now you've got the Dr. McDougall Daily Dozen, right? Wants you to have flax every day, okay, really. Okay, what is flax? Let's look into that, okay? Flax is also high estrogen. Not good. Remember, we want to cut out the estrogen in ourselves, especially if you've got the boobies. Okay, pinch those things and just go ahead and look and see if you have that. Because if you do, remember, you've got low testosterone. And here's another way, guys. Girls, you can check your ovaries too, but you can't reach in there and feel the size of them. But men, if you have high estrogen, you have low testosterone, and you have the cheese all over your body, right? All that sort of like they call the cellulite, right? Just made up name. That's just this body fat creature, okay, that's living in you, and you're feeding it a lot of sugar. But high estrogen, okay, is what makes cows fat. Yes, it does, okay? And high estrogen does what? Gives the cows sickness. Yes, it does, okay? So think of the cattle that get really big and fat, okay, because they even take Hawaiian cattle from here and they send them over to the mainland. They sell them to them. They don't slaughter them here or anything else. No, they bring them to the mainland. What do you think they do? They fatten them up with soy, estrogen, okay? Put in moldy hay, because you don't get any good, the animals get the junk of the junk, the stuff that basically humans will not buy. Okay, what do you think, that cows are eating all your corn up, guys? Most of it goes for ethanol, but there's a very small percentage that basically it's all junk stuff. So the cattle eat the junk stuff. They have to give them antibiotics, right? Because they have all now high estrogen. So got a lot of problems with that. You eat the high estrogen meats, okay? How do you know if the meat's got high estrogen in it? Grab yourself a piece of conventional grown meat and get yourself some grass-fed beef. And if it's got that marbleization in there, the large marbleization, okay, what do you think that is? That's all, you can call it fat, right? Makes it taste really good. But what's in that stuff? Could it be possible that that's all estrogen? Okay, again, I've changed my diet to only grass-fed, okay, grass-finished. Okay, look, here, see all the grass? I didn't plant this stuff. I don't even water it either. And what does it do? It feeds animals, and they eat this magical grass, right? Because they're herbivores. And they exchange this grass into muscle. What a machine, right? We cannot do that, okay? And we're pushed into becoming vegans, right? Or vegetarians. Why? Well, I'll tell you, one of the reasons why, if you wanted to manage the herd, you'd want all the masculine males to be effeminized. Yes, you would. It's because they're easier to handle. And why do I say that? You've got to study the animals to see a lot of the truth. So let's say if we have cattle, we've got 20 females, right? I got 16 female sheep right here, and I got one male, just one. And he's got his cojones. So what do you think's going on? Why don't I have more males? Well, because I only need one anyways, because they fight with each other over the girls, over territory, okay? And if you wanted to castrate the males, you can hang them with those guys, just because it doesn't matter. They don't care. They can't smell the pheromones, right? They don't want to mate, is because testosterone that's in your body, guys, just so you know, testosterone gives you the ability to smell the female's pheromones. And what is that? It's when she's in ovulation in the middle of the month, right? And she puts out those special pheromones, just like the sheep. Remember, they don't have sex. She goes into heat, right? She throws out the invisible pheromone. They smell it, maybe. No, they're controlled by it. Whatever that stuff is, right? Every male in town wants to break through the fence to be able to breed this thing. Not because it's pretty. Not because it just wants to have some fun. No, it's because the hormones say so. And we never knew. Yeah, we could have sexual or, fun, Okay, but when the pheromones say breed, this is when you have babies, because this is the uncontrollable, okay, this pheromone. But we've been stripped of that pheromone. So high estrogen means that for a male, you've got low testosterone. Testosterone lets you smell the pheromones, and if you can't smell the pheromones, guys, you're not really, well, attracted to any females. As the males are not attracted to the females until they go into heat. That's it. So if you can't smell the pheromones, and if you don't have enough testosterone with a blend of estrogen, not a ton of estrogen, with a blend of maybe some testosterone, okay, what do you think happens to you when you grow up? You become biologically confused, right? It's because why? It's because you're not attracted to the other side. You're just not. And you're socially engineered to be able to say, hey, I'm, you know, really, I wasn't born with testosterone. No, you were groomed with high estrogen. Okay, and look at a lot of the young people. I just study everybody right now. And the older guys, let's say you were the macho man, right? At 20, you were, or 30 or whatever it is, in 10 years worth of eating, okay, even a vegan vegetarian diet, high in soy. Remember, you're drinking beers every day. Hops, look that up. Hops is one of the #1 phytoestrogens there is too. Hops, phytoestrogen. Why would you drink a beer? It's not going to turn you into a man. I have to cover my mic, a little windy out here. Nice trade winds though. Okay, beautiful Hawaii, huh? Real clouds right here today. Look at those. Okay, so why would you want to lose some of your manhood? Or is there something here that wants the alpha males? Okay, remember, if you even had a war right now, it takes testosterone to get pissed enough to go ahead and go to the other side and listen to what this side says, to be able to say, here's a gun, go shoot that guy over there that you don't even know. It takes testosterone to be able to go ahead and fight, okay? But not just fight, but fight for what is right. Yes, it does. And if we strip you of testosterone, what do you think happens to you? Means you become submissive. Means you become, well, when needed, cowardly. Why? Because it takes testosterone not to fight, but to protect. To protect. So, you know, anyways, we're fed a estrogen high level food supply. So what are some of the ideas that you want to do? Remember, there's not only in your food, but it's in your bottled water. Xenoestrogens, those are chemical estrogens. Okay, chemical estrogens. What are those about? Here, let's put some food in, and we'll talk about xenoestrogens. You want to feed these guys a little bit? Okay. What do you think, Hodo? Huh? What do you think? He's my main man. Can you show him your wings at all, or is it too windy for you? He doesn't like the bottom of the tripod. Okay, so let's get some food. No corn, no wheat. I don't like any of that stuff. So just give them a little bit of sweet barley. Okay. Remember, a lot of the grains that you're eating, these guys, hey guys, ah! I got to build some shelters for them because it's hot. They're over there standing in the shade, you can tell. And of course, they got water, but I just filled that up a couple hours ago. I'm going to town. I got to get them some water basins and some different things. I just got these guys the other day. What's up, guys? Well, maybe they don't want to come. It's too hot. Let's just put a little in there. See if they got the best noses too. They can smell so far away. Yes, they can. We can't smell too far, right? And their poop just smells. It's just grass. So it's not like dog poop. And there's nothing worse than dog poop. Nothing worse than dog poop. Okay, so xenoestrogens. Xenoestrogens are chemical estrogens. They're not phytoestrogens. Phytoestrogens are plant estrogens, right? So a xenoestrogen is a mimicker. It could be, may not even be estrogen, a mimicker of what you call estrogen, right? Plastics, we drink in plastic all day long. Your water bottles are superheated while they're being transported, and in a lot of cases, they're also super cooled. And anyways, this water, of course, is got different types of xenoestrogens in it from the plastic. Yo, baby, yo. So, you know, there's many different estrogens. How about just essential oils? If you just look up estrogenic essential oils, And if you're trying to go ahead and get rid of these buds, then what you got to do is you got to stop all your estrogen from coming in from the outside source. Body wants to make it, that's another thing. But when you have high estrogen, you know what happens to you? All you got to do is look at the animals. Okay, they get sick. And if you get high estrogen and as a female, okay, maybe you get breast cancer. Maybe because you got all these different types of drugs that actually cut off that receptor site, right? Okay, and what do? Well, their breast cancer gets better. High estrogen maybe with prostate cancer, maybe with all different types of sicknesses, because the estrogen is a problem. Because it throws the body off balance, way off balance. So how do you get back some of your testosterone? Guys, you got to work out. I just did the first day. I'm doing the 4-day workout of what I do in my little home gym up there. So Mark and I are going to go through just basically what I do. And it's a just 40-minute workout or so. And just showing you how I use all my home gym to be able to work out. And I, right now, eat live mitochondria. So my body right now is animal base, and I've rebuilt myself. This was the year, just like in my video that I did back in January, man. Remember that? New Year's. Okay, it's already the next year almost. This year was the year for me, not to detox, but to rebuild myself from the malnourished self I was from 15 years from a plant-based diet. I still, through my plant-based diet, I still had some eggs, because if not, okay, not good. Remember, the vegan type diet, most people are on super high estrogen garbage processed products, eating a ton of soybeans, thinking, you know, edamame this, and okay, all this oat milk that is, you know, full of phytic acids, all different types of things that are wrong. Watch my other videos that I have put out in basically January and February. Now, if you want to, you know, just sort of learn a lot of the things, and there's a lot of good video, you know, channels to go ahead and learn about this too. I've said it in a lot of the videos over there because there's a long list of them. Okay, Dr. Paul Saladino, Dr. Ken Berry. I mean, there's a lot of different ones in all different areas. That's just sort of for diet, just to give you a different perspective. But I only eat right now, okay, I cut out all estrogen, nothing, not even lavender. Remember, lavender is an estrogen essential oil. Oh, did you know that one? Here, yeah. Here, have some lavender kombucha, right? Okay, you got to go ahead and do a little research and just sort of search and see. Estrogen stuff is in everything. It's in all your shampoos. Okay, it's all these plastic bottles, all these things that we use and we put against our body. Okay, petrochemicals. Okay, all different things that are made from petrochemicals, like Bissay, coatings and cans. It's everywhere. Okay, paints. So, you know, pesticides. Just did a good video on pesticides too, natural pesticides. Show you how to go ahead and use some natural remedies, which you can spray in your house. You don't have to take dishes out or anything, using boric acid, borax, all different types of things that basically we just share with you. You know, cut down the toxicity in your life, right? So, anyways, estrogen-fed society. How do you increase some of your testosterone now? Even the girls. Got to exercise intensely. So, did chest video yesterday. And, you know, just showing you what I do first. My stretching, you know, the exercises that we do, it's all basically home gym, right? And I get super good benefits, especially the drink I show you that I'm drinking right before to give myself tons of this sort of sugar or glycogen energy. To rebuild myself, remember, I ate rich mitochondria from similar based creatures that we are. Remember, we are made of red blood. And we have, you know, this thing called a body, and I have a liver, and so I've been eating like a pound of liver for a while, and that's the pharmaceutical warehouse of the animal. Help me regenerate myself, my liver. Everybody's got liver problems. You don't think so, guys? You're joking yourself. Just are. Just from all the chemicals that you ingest every day. Remember, all the pesticides, the glyphosate, okay, the atrazine that is also estrogen, high-level estrogen. Look that up. Tyrone Haynes, Dr. Tyrone, or Dr. Haynes, get his name mixed up sometimes, but he's works at, you know, he's a professor at Berkeley and doing tests on frogs. you know, taking frogs and putting them in a very low solution of atrazine, which is an herbicide, similar to glyphosate, or, you know, it's an herbicide. And just a small amount of this stuff present in their water, what do you think happened to them? The males turned not only to females, but in time, they turned into breeding females. That's a powerful, you can call it hormone mimicker, okay? And it changes your DNA. Remember, estrogen changes your DNA more towards an estrogen factor when it regenerates. Testosterone, especially if you eat anabolic foods, okay? That's what I'm eating now. It's just anabolic foods. I use sugar to work out, boom, I get explosive energy. And I eat one meal a day, that's it. Sometimes I'll sort of, if I feel hungry, I'll have a couple eggs and maybe some raw fish. Okay? Anyways, watch the other videos so you can see anabolic versus catabolic diet. But to cut down the estrogen, guys, you're going to have to do research, because there's sort of like all these different assaults coming from different angles. Okay, storing your food in plastic, no more. Watch our tips of the day. Yeah, you tell them, Hodo. Watch our tips of the day. There's a lot of good information for you. It's like when you buy a piece of cheese, right? The thing's wrapped in that crappy, thin plastic, right? They call it saran wrap, whatever you want to call it. Thin plastic wrap. And this wrap, of course, is got all different types of like oils on it, and that's from the petrochemical plastic that made it. Got residue in it. All the bottles have residue in it. You think they wash the bottles out before they put your water in or your sodas in and all the other things that you buy, from plastic bottled mayonnaise to plastic bottles and cartons that are in your milk, and just crazy. So increasing your testosterone, I 3 times a week watch our stimulating your testosterone using the sun techniques. Full body, nude, sun on your testes. And if you're a guy, like I said, your testes should be the size of a medium-sized chicken egg. Yes, they should. Okay? And if they're not, that means that they're not producing the testosterone that they should be. And so, oh, they used to be. Yeah, I know. You've been castrated. Remember, if your su huevito es muy chiquito, ese es el problema. El problema por su cuerpo, por regeneración, y por just su general status. Just for your general status, basically. You lose your hormones, okay? What happens is this high estrogen. Check this one out. Okay, a lot of guys are losing their hair, right? So what do? Well, you can follow our hair protocol that we have at Earther Academy. And I've had lots of people show me regrowing their hair, but these guys use, okay, minoxidil. They use all these different types of not over the counter, prescription, right? To try to grow some of their manlyhood back. And maybe it's just the hair mites that are doing that, so let's kill the hair mites. But they're taking this, and the main ingredient, like I show you, is caffeine. So I show you some different things that you can go ahead and add into your hair to stimulate not only hair growth, but here, let me show you how to kill these little things called hair mites. 1,000 of them can go ahead and sit in a pore and poop in there so much it kills it. A lot of women have thin hair too. But anyways, they're taking these hair regrowth drugs, and what do you think happens to them? Okay, highly estrogenic. You want to get your manhood back by growing your hair, and it does help grow your hair a little bit, and also increases your estrogen. Really. Remember, if there's a job here of the game warden of the farm here that we all live in, called Earth, okay? Yeah, now again, I'm sideways, right? Yeah, I'm walking sideways in Hawaii. But if there was a game warden here, okay, you'd want to see that this herd is really big right now. And if I had a lot of animals in pens, right? All houses are pens in cities, okay? States are different prisons, right? Got countries, different prisons that have different rules, different laws. So each one owns its people, right? They're all a product of the so-called corporation. There they come, they're running down now. Somebody found some food. Okay, so what would you want to do at this point in time right now? Remember, every 100 years they sort of cull the herd, or the herd gets culled. However it gets culled, it doesn't matter. But, and you can call it natural or you can call it unnatural. It doesn't matter. It's whatever your mind believes, right? It's just the way it is. Look at these pretty guys. And they're all crossed, all different types of sheep. They're not just one type of cross. You know, like Barbados or St. Croix or Darper. They're all crossed, and she takes the best of the best, and you crossbreed them and you get a super strong. Come on, mister. So, anyways, what would you do if you were running this farm? Georgia Guidestone sort of tells you, right? They want you to know. about a lot of things right now. Remember, the world as it is right now has a theme to it. As it says, remember the Piscean constellation? Watch the movie, or the YouTube video I did called Endgame. And I go into this a little bit so I don't have to go into this. But there's a new theme in this world right now. Okay, there's a new theme, and what do you think it is? The new theme is to change the game to the next constellational game, which is the constellation of Aquarius. See, these guys are hot right now. Yeah, I need to get you a shelter. We'll get one tomorrow. They're just panting because they got a big coat on. And of course, you know, it's a whole new age, right? Just like when you go to the UN's website, it says right at the top, New World Order, so there's going to be a new world order. And of course, the old order was pretty weird for the last 2,000 years, right? Rape, plunder, pillage, okay, war, pestilence, okay? Disease because of just a lot of stupid things, not because we're weak, is because we don't understand sanitation. And there are systems here that have technology that just keeps repeating itself. It's not new, it just keeps repeating itself. So, here, I'll go this way. And then you can see these guys like that. You know, there's always so much to say. So, you know, every couple hundred years, look at the Tartarians if you don't know about them. Okay? And if you look back just 50 years ago, the Tartarians, remember, they weren't who knows, exterminated. Who knows, maybe they just vanished, right? But they had a huge civilization around the world, the Tartarians, about 200 years ago. But just in the last 50 years, we've had technology come to us, and you can call it alien technology. Like, I'm using my phone now, it's on airplane mode, but I'm still using it right now. It's a camera. And you can fly all this information through the air. Do you think that the wireless that surrounds you all the time is causing maybe an effect on your hormones? That's another one. Do you think that maybe if you have low testosterone and high estrogen, that you get chubby and fat? Well-rounded? Okay, or maybe just sick, pimples. Okay, look at what happens to like a 12-year-old female when she goes through puberty. What'd she get? Pimples, right? Boobies start to swell. Yeah. And what happens to a man when he gets testosterone? Same thing. The hormones are wacky. Gets pimples, right? Acne. So a lot of people have acne. It's because most likely you're eating foods, forget they're allergic, full of estrogen. Phytoestrogens, remember, in your plastic, xenoestrogens. You know, there's, again, of course, like we've talked about in all our other videos, there's also things called phytoalexins, which are the plant poisons. All plants have their own individual poisons that they have to be able to ward off a lot of things, okay? Oxalates, lectins, okay, just different types of defense mechanisms that the plant has. It doesn't want you to eat it. It doesn't want you to eat its seeds. That's why it puts cadmium on it and arsenic and all different, you know, Johnny Appleseed's got arsenic, right? Got cyanide, right? It's in the seed. Why? It's because no one wants you to eat the seed, and you have to process everything in these plants now. This is what I found out. And you got to watch, if you're going to go on the vegan or vegetarian thing, you have to sort of ask yourself, you're going to lose a lot of your hormones. Even when you work out, you're just going to find out you're going to get really weak, like I did. Remember, I got down to 127 pounds. That's because my testosterone was going down. And again, I was eating eggs too. And I kept getting weaker and weaker. My joints kept getting stiffer and stiffer. And I was falling apart, okay? I was getting this weird, like fatty garbage on the side of my waist. I was getting like a little bit of a boob hang here. Okay. Nope. I took a rest from glyphosate. It's in all the plants, even organic. Took a rest from atrazine. Took a rest from fungicides and moldicides. Okay, all the things from the plants to be able to heal my gut. Took me about 6 months to heal my gut. Remember, I had blood in my stools. 2.5 years, about 2 years or so. Before a little bit, but then all the time for like 1.5 years. And if I had any constipation or anything else, that's it. Boom. And it's because I'm eating a bunch of fiber. Remember, I'm fiberless right now. I don't eat any fiber. And even if I have a drink or have some fruit, I'll just chew like I have an orange. I chew the orange up, right? I'll swallow the juice right before I work out, and I spit out the fiber. I don't want any fiber. I don't want any insoluble fiber. I'm not an herbivore. It took me 15 years to figure that out and millions of dollars, but we tried. We tried. But we just couldn't do it. We tried. And depending on how much storages you have in your body, remember, a lot of people, you go on these diets, remember, and that's what the vegan diet is, or the vegetarian diet is, the fruitarian diet. Okay, there are no breatharians, I haven't met them, when I've studied them. But when you go on these diets, what you're doing is you're basically, in time, you're malnourishing yourself. Your body works off of the storages that you've accumulated prior. And most likely, you probably had a crappy diet. And even if you feel really good, it's probably because it's way better food than the crap you were eating before. Shoot, you go to, let's say, fast foods, right? Okay, you're eating synthetic foods. Okay, how about, remember, synthetic petrochemicals, all these different types of additives. Hey, you're washing your hands with fragrances. Watch that video, hand fragrance. Or not hand sanitizing. Quit using the hand sanitizers. Why? Because they got fragrances. Estrogen. And I'm not making this up, guys. Okay? It's what it is. You're using alcohol that's basically toxic to your body, right? Isopropyl alcohol, ethyl alcohol in these hand sanitizers. The FDA goes ahead and says what? 75 of them, bans them off and tells them to recall. Make your own. And first of all, anyways, like I said, your immune system's strong. You don't have to worry about the influenza. You don't have to worry about a lot of things. Is because why? Because your immune system works. And your immune system works is because it gets bacteria all the time. All different things that grows inside this body. Your body's made up of bacteria, just so you know. So I haven't taken any supplements. I haven't done any detoxing except for once a week I do a few types of detox because, again, I'm eating flesh, and no matter what I eat, just in case the flesh is infected, but it's grass-fed, and I've never seen the parasites in it, but it doesn't matter. Once a week I do a little cleaning, okay? And yeah, I don't really want to talk about them on here. We talk about them on Earth Academy. $10 a month right now, you can learn a lot of good stuff. Okay? How to just take care of yourself a little better. No one knows everything what's going down, and no one knows what's going on, right? We all have experiences, and all we can do is share the experiences if we feel the experience that we have is beneficial for someone else. It's got to be easy, economical, and efficient. If not, most people won't do it. So, you know, when you get estrogen, you know what happens to you? Think of it as a female. You have estrogen, you get your period, right? What happens when you get your period, girls? You turn into, remember, 3 days of somebody that you don't like, right? Don't talk to her, she's on her period, right? She's got high estrogen. She's gonna be vocal. I don't feel good, I got stomach, I know. It's not even the pain, remember, the hormones make you emotional. They make you, not chatty Cathy, they make you bitchy Cathy. Everything bothers you, okay? And or little things that would bother you before, no big deal, really bother you now. And these are the 3 days of the sort of what you call the estrogen infection that females get, right, once a month. So if you are a man and you lose your testosterone, and it's really easy to do right now, and again, go check and see the size of your testes. And if they're not the size of medium-sized chicken eggs, even a small chicken egg, guys, you're in trouble. You've been castrated. And if you've never had, look at a dog that's 60 years old has bigger huevos than most men. Okay, it's just the way it is. And you'll notice when your testosterone starts to work is because they start to get bigger. So I do full body sun, and no matter what, after I'm done with that, my testes, everything is bigger. Why? Because it just got stimulated by the sun. Okay, so when's the last time you got full body sun? No one's asked for you to walk around with your clothes off. Just find a place and clean your skin with the skin cleaning protocols, re-lubricate your skin, and go outside and give your boys, right, a suntan. And girls, you can do the same thing. Just put it on your private parts, open them up, let the sun come in, right? And this stimulates a lot of things in your body to be able to balance. The sun does wonders. The sun is energy. The sun is a balancer. It gives harmony. Unless you live in the city. And most likely, your skies wouldn't have real clouds to them. They would have a bunch of synthetic clouds. And that's a sad thing. Because look how good the air quality is here, and the colors that you see are, magnificent. Why? Is because what you're seeing is clear light coming through instead of filtered light with all the smog and all the stuff that's sprayed up there, right? that filters the light coming in and makes it so you can't see the colors of the way they really are. That's why I love Hawaii, because I'm in the green plane. Green, red, orange, look, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. These are your chakras. I'm in the green plane. This is the heart plane. You must see green to be able to have this energy just visually be stimulated, right? Everybody likes green. Satan's green is money, right? You do a lot of stupid things just to be able to make Satan's currency, because that's what works, right? Paper, plastic, or numbers. So to also be able to stimulate your hormones too, again, intense and energetic exercise. You could do sprints if you're in pretty good shape. Do short sprints, not long distance running. You just lose your hormones and you're just beating yourself down, wearing yourself out. Okay, short sprints, 100 feet, fast as you can, and come down and just breathe. Do the chi breathing exercises that we share. Look up chi breathing, and you just get an idea on different types of training methods, and this will stimulate your testosterone. Also, when you stop taking in all of the estrogenic plants, stop doing the plastics, get yourself a distiller, right? Earther Academy, you get yourself a $100 discount. It's cheapest on the internet. Buy what you want, but be careful. Remember, all those Chinese ones, they break really easy. It's not that China's bad or this or that, it's just the quality is not as good as the ones that are made in the US, just is. Even though they probably get some of the parts from China, right? But at least they manufacture it, put it all together, they have their own specs. So, okay, so removing the estrogen from your plants, right? First you got to know which ones are. Remember, again, soy, flax, hops and beer, lavender, just essential oils, anything that's soybean related, anything. And you got all these different types of milks everybody's using. Remember, almond milk, high oxalates, okay? Oat milk, okay? All this phytic acid just goes in and takes away all the minerals that basically in your food. Fiber is not your friend. Watch this video, just sort of wake you up a little bit just to see another perspective from Dr. Paul Mason on fiber. Just so you can see the studies. Basically, look, guys, fiber is not your friend. How could you think if you're going to pile in a bunch of fiber that's going to suck out all the minerals and everything in your body, in your food, okay, because that's what they do, right? The psyllium powder and all the metamucil garbage and everything goes inside, and it just sits there, and it's insoluble. So you don't have a fermented chamber, so it sits in there solid going in, and it has to come all out. If you're already constipated, or if you're just full of a bunch of food inside you, why are you putting more insoluble stuff where you got to poop out more so your belly can stick out? Remember, your belly sticks out from the side, you're loaded, full of crap. Okay, watch our intermittent fasting videos, just so you can go ahead and start practicing. Yeah, anyways, I got a good story to tell if anybody wants to not interview me, but if you want to have a talk on video. And we're here to be able to try to help each other, guys, because you may make a mistake and think that veganism is good for all ages, children, everybody, and it's adequate nutrition, okay? Maybe on paper, but your absorption level, and you're gonna malnourish your child. All you got to do is watch some of the videos of the people basically that have been doing veganism or even vegetarianism or fruitarianism just over 5 years. Your body gets super depleted, you get super skinny, and you notice that a lot of people in the new age groups, okay, they all go vegan, right? Maharishi and Sadhguru and everybody tells, this and this and that, okay? And everybody follows basically what would be the best way to be able to live on this extraction planet. The problem is your body's primal and it does need certain micronutrients and essential micronutrients. And if you don't get them in your system, guys, then what happens is your system starts to fall apart. It'll take some years, depending on how malnourished you are to start with. And if you've been eating fast foods and potato chips and all the, so I call them stupid foods that are full of synthetic things like just all this cakes and garbage with all the Splendas and fake sugars and all that stuff, guys, you're just doing it to yourselves. I'm just telling you. And that's not all, you guys. If you're listening to me, most likely you're trying to wake up your family or you're trying to wake up your friends and they're just thinking you're crazy, right? It's because you don't believe. You don't believe. And believe what? Check it out. There's the Hawaiian hawk. I don't know if you can see him up there. Hey, buddy. we go. Let's see if we can get him. There we go. What's up, buddy? They say it's an honor to be able to see the Hawaiian hawk. An honor. And not only that, look, there's another one. They're nesting in our coconut palm. What's up, guys? These are supposed to be the protectors of the spirit world. And if you see them, it means they're watching over you, right? That's what the legend says. That's what they say. The Hawaiian hawk is a protection that sees, remember, for a mile like hawks do. Where do you think they hunt? They read a stop sign at a mile. So anyways, a lot of talk, a lot of things to talk about. But all I can say is, you know, if you want to get healthy, you gotta definitely upgrade your water. Okay, you gotta flush out a lot of stuff. Remember the sauna. Learn our sauna protocols. Try to, you know, experiment with some of the detox protocols. And it's all an experiment, guys. It's just all it is. And you just start out at any low dosages and you just sort of, you know, experiment with things. And anything I'm showing you is only because we've used it for many, many years. And there are some cautions, warnings, and some pointers on how to use a lot of things. And that's what I share, again, on Earthly Academy. Join for a month or two. And then cancel. It's only $10 a month. And plus you get the coupon to get a distiller or RO machine that's all made in America. You gotta have clean water. Get yourself a sauna. Get yourself even a little cheap portable sauna. Okay. Sweat it out. Stop putting glyphosate in your system. Stop putting the herbicides in your system. Stop eating nuts that are full of all different types of mycotoxins. Yes, they are. Remember, I don't eat any nuts, seeds, grains, or greens. I eat fruit, and I have dairy products, kefir, organic kefir, 3.25%. I have fertile eggs, not glyphosate eggs, junk eggs. And they're a couple bucks more, that's okay. Remember, you're trying to cut out your estrogen. And raw cheese, that's RSBT free. Again, that's RSBT. These are hormones that to give to cows to be able to make them produce more milk. Again, why do you think your mammillary glands are growing? Because we're ingesting estrogen and also things that are around us that are making us so we cannot absorb the testosterone, the little testosterone that we make. Again, why do you think there's so many effeminized men? What do you think? It's just something, it's like a new, new style? Okay, what do you think? If you do testosterone checks, you know, free testosterone, just testosterone in general, and you did an examination on the men, you'd find out that their testes are smaller, their genitals didn't evolve to be able to procreate. And there's a lot of them, okay? And if you, again, you know, look at that any generation, you'll find out just going back 40 years ago, you'll never see a person overweight there. Autistic rates, look at all the things that are wrong right now. What is it? What is the wrong? What's wrong? Well, there's a lot of things wrong. And that's why we have to be sort of smart nowadays to figure out what's the best way to navigate for a healthy life. That's it. Doing videos, what I do when I get the flu. Really good one for you to be able to see. I got 10 different parts on that. Okay, also cleaning your sinuses, the neti pot cleanse. That's a real good one for you to see too. I just have it on YouTube now for a couple weeks, and I'm going to put it on all private because it's just too much information there on our earthlyacademy.com channel. So lots of videos, how, you know, oxygen therapies, okay, using EDTA for heavy metal detoxification. Remember, it's all an experiment, right? But these are things that a lot of people have used, so it's not like anybody's doing it for the first time. And, you know, again, it's all an experiment. It does work though. Remember, again, I'm 60 years old. And I try to figure it out. Remember, we're all in crisis. We all have our problems. I've just regenerated myself this year, okay, so much. Gained 25 pounds of pure muscle, okay? I just did. Strength is twice as good. My tennis elbow, my hip, everything is massively better. My swelling, inflammation, my brain is grounded. I sleep so good right now, okay? My testosterone is higher than it ever has been. Okay, that's why I'm strong right now. That's why my body grab that 25 pounds because I'm not feeding it any estrogen, I'm not feeding it any grains, any rice, any potatoes. Forget poor man's food, it's just unhealthy food. When you mix those foods, okay, with your good protein, you're changing the pH in the gut. Remember, let's say you want to eat a piece of meat or just something that's high in protein, and you're mixing it with a bunch of stuff that basically like sugar and fruit that doesn't need a high pH to break down. You're diluting the stomach acid, and that protein will not break down, and now you get gas and farting and all different types of ingestional irritation. And again, one thing you can learn is about the fiber. Plants are not as much of a friend as you think they are, and they must be processed, almost all of them, besides the fruit. And you got to watch out what fruits aren't high in oxalates too if you've got oxalate problems. Kidney stones, gallstones, arterial sclerosis, atherosclerosis, okay, brain sand, just sore muscles, sore tissues, sore joints. These could be oxalate poisoning from your diet. That's right. Make a lot of stress, a lot of cortisol, a lot of different types of adrenalinic action because your body is under fight and flight all the time just from the Wi-Fi. And then you come home, right, and you gotta you gotta put up with maybe a relationship that you don't like too good. Is why? Because maybe she's got high estrogen and you got high estrogen, and all you guys do is bitch at each other back and forth, and you don't get anything solved, and everyone's trying to win their side of the story, their perception, instead of negotiate. So estrogen just makes you fight, guys, okay? It makes you become non-logical, illogical, okay? It just does. How could you make reason and logic if your emotions are out of sequence? How can you do that? Think of it. How do you think that you could make a correct decision if I don't feel good? Yeah, you're gonna make decisions based on the way you bloody feel. I know that. Work with lots of females with a lot of high estrogen and a lot of guys with high estrogen, and it's like, I don't feel good today. Well, what did you change it? What do you mean you don't feel good? Because of what? Your physical body? No, I don't feel good. It's I just don't feel good all the time. Well, no shit. Excuse me. You got yourself most likely high estrogen in your system. That's why you see the New Age community. Remember, you guys don't do anything but yoga. All the sort of castrated exercises. I don't see anybody doing anything that has to do with strength. Okay, a couple of guys will do a few things, not everybody, but I'm talking generally. All I see is very thin and, whoo, you guys stink. Eating way too much garlic, too many white onions, too many green onions. Remember, all that poison's coming out of your body. Eating garlic, thinking it's good for you. When you get sick, garlic is poison, so eat it then. Why would you want to stink? I went to this girl the other day, right? Saw her, and she wanted to, I had a blackhead. She goes, can I poke that blackhead? I said, sure, go ahead. And a friend of mine, and she eats a lot of garlic. And a lot of people will tell you it's good for you, right? No, it makes you dysfunctional. And everybody doesn't want to smell your, not only stench coming out of your arms, because that's sulfone hydroxyl ion, but your breath is poison. Now, getting close to me, right? And she goes, you keep leaning back a little bit. I'm thinking, yeah, because your frickin' breath smells so bad, it's gonna make me puke. Okay, garlic. Oh, that's so, now forget sexy. It's just what it is. It's a poison. You walk in the room and you stink the whole bloody room up, and if everybody's eating garlic, then no one smells it because you're all poisoned, right? But if one person eats garlic and goes into a closed room and you shut the windows, right? Who bloody stinks in here? Not only the sweat, but the stench of the poison coming out of your blood. And it does kill some pathogens, but you take it when needed. Don't just take it all the time. Make you stupid. Make you dysfunctional, make you so you can't have critical thinking. It desynchronizes the brain. So there's not just, remember, once you desynchronize your hormones in your body and have high estrogen, low testosterone, right? Low testosterone, and that goes for men and women, goes for children too. You've got yourself a problem. The children, remember, do not grow into men, and the females do not grow into grown females, women. They don't. Okay, woo man, right? Little man. And you got man and woo man. little man. I don't know how they made up all these words, right? Hue man, right? Is hue means God, word of God, right? Hue is the vibration, they say, of God. Hue, hue, hue. I mean, that type of mantra. So human means God man. Really, I see a lot of dysfunctional devils. Okay, why? Because you're following a lot of stupidity. You're not being smart, and you're causing your dysfunction is pushing others to follow your dysfunction. The herd, remember, follows the herd. once a couple of these guys go ahead and start running, they don't know why they're running, but everybody runs with the one who's the leader. And there's a lot of leaders on YouTube and everybody's running. I don't know where you're going, but anyways, you need critical thinking to be able to sort of not only see where everybody's going, but see what type of path you may want to start. And it's not just the, you got all this Eckhart Tolle, all this, taking you off track. A lot of it's good. Listen to it like 10 times each chapter just to learn. Remember, this guy, they're pushing him up there for a reason, right? Not because he's so famous, whatever. He's pushing him up there for a reason. And I wanted to learn. I learned a lot of good picks, but it's not the power of now. It's not now. That's you spending a lot of mind games, okay? Because that's just one piece of the game. It's not just now, and that's not just everything. It's learning from the past, right? We're humans. We're supposed to have memory. Okay, understanding the present is a miracle. Remember, I'm not breathing, it's breathing me and all the things that are around me. And again, no one knows what a blade of grass is. So what do you know? Theory. Anyways, I can keep on talking and talking. I forgot what I was going to say. Because I had other things I wanted to say, and I got them all like, all right, we're at 51 minutes, but, this is what I wanted to say here. So Eckhart Tolle, if you go ahead and look and see, it's the power of not only not now, it's the power of the past. Okay, why? Is because learning from the past gives you wisdom, no matter what things you have learned from. Everything's a learning experience, right? Tying your shoelace and tripping on the floor after a couple times, you learn to keep your shoelaces tied. Okay, you learn a lot of things as you grow, and after about 33 years old, you start getting a little white hairs and you start to get some wisdom, right? The Christ age, 33. But, once, I know Hodo. Look, once you see that it's learning from the past, knowing the present is a miracle, and guiding your ship to the future. Guiding your ship. Okay, the wind's not out, that's okay. I got secondary power, right? I got a little motor. And I'm gonna start pushing my boat in the direction that I feel. And I may have to get physical. I can't maybe use the wind because the system's blowing me in a good direction or a bad direction. I got to use a motor. And then I got to put some fuel in it, which means that I'm the fuel. I'm the one that physically changes the world for me. And I flow with the world around me. Okay, I mean, that's just philosophy that I've learned from a lot of really good guys. Alan Watts, a lot of the Jordan Peterson, just a lot of the philosophers. Remember, we live on a magical realm here. Magical. And the Satanists, which are, of course, wanting us to know at this time that they've been controlling our reality for as long as we know. And they're everywhere, but they're nowhere. Just like in the Matrix. They are everywhere, but they were nowhere. Okay, watch the video that I did on Endgame, and I go through some gematria there. Okay, they are everywhere. Just look at Brave. Put Brave in, your Brave browser, right? Put that into gematria, 33. Okay, look at Google Chrome, right? You can see the 666 on the logo there. Okay, go to Mozilla, right? What Firefox? Okay, Fox is 666. And the fire, of course, is the sort of what you can call the ritual of Satan, right? Over this fire spirit. And of course the sun's a fire spirit too, right? Look, we don't know what it is. Everybody tells you it's a helium giant, this, that. Guys, you have no idea. The earth has a nickel core and it's got a such and such. You have no idea. Have you been there? All theory. Evolution theory, right? Big Bang theory, theory of relativity, theory of gravity, the theory of everything. The theory that I'm in Hawaii and I'm walking sideways. Really. Okay. Does that make sense to your sensors? Doesn't matter, remember. What we've been told is a good story. We live in a place here, remember the last 2,000 years was to be able to never tell the slaves the truth. And nothing but the lies, so help you, maybe Satan, right? Or Lucifer, whatever you want to say. Remember, it's all over the place. Disney 666, okay? GE 666, Microsoft 666. All these big companies, the biggest machine in the world, right? CERN. Just watch the other video, and I give you a couple of examples. So the Satanists want us to know that they've been in control. And, you know, like I said, if I was running this farm right now, as they're closing down the farm, right? What do we do if we have a bunch behind me, a bunch of sick animals? Do I keep on feeding them? Do I keep on watering them? It's a lot of work for me to go ahead and feed my animals here. Why? Because I want them to stay healthy. But what if I had a lot of sick animals right here? What do you think would happen? I, as the farmer of the dell, would have to clean up the diseased animals, right? And go to the city, and I want you to see the people. I want you to see burning down buildings, guys, okay? You know, the best part is the children's lives matter most, just so you know. Children's lives matter most. And right now they're having the bejesus, the Jesus scared out of them, and the Beelzebub put inside them. Okay, muzzle yourselves, 666, right? The social distancing, 6 feet this way, 6 feet this way, 6 feet this way. It's in your face, right? Scaring the bejesus, the Jesus out of the children. And teaching them that they came from monkeys. And showing them, of course, that everyone's infected. And poor grandma and grandpa, I can't go see them is because, well, I may pass something to them. It's a good story. It just is. It's the greatest story on earth. I'll do another video on this, but again, you're supposedly a God man, right? Human. Hu means God. And so if we own a God instrument, right, I dream this machine from a mindless avatar, and of course it's perfectly synced with my physical avatar, and no one really can sort of decipher that connection. They can't even sort of look, like a fish doesn't know it's swimming, and it doesn't know it's breathing, it doesn't know about tomorrow, it doesn't know about yesterday. No, it doesn't. It doesn't have a neonatal cortex. So there is a sort of another understanding, and we'll go over this. Do you think my eyes are just for me? Do you think these best video cameras, way better than the one I'm using here, autofocus, right? I point it anywhere I point it. It's a surveillance camera, right? The best one. Facial recognition, hey George, right? For me, but do you think it's just for me? Remember, the world of no form controls all form. And that's a hard one for people to grab. They think the physical world controls the physical world, when in fact, okay, remember, the mystical mind knows this. It's not the spiritual mind. Okay, that's when you fast and be a vegan and stuff like that. But the mystical mind knows that everything on this plane, did you take a plane to go over, right? Yeah, let's go to Australia and see the planes fly upside down. Show me a picture of that. Show me a picture of one of the ships in the harbor sideways. Just want to see it with one of your, 20,000 satellites in the thermosphere, right, at 4,000 degrees. Really, just turn it around, Hubble telescope or any of these things over here, and let me just take a look. I think it'd be cool to be able to see, sort of my ship sideways, or just planes flying upside down, or even sideways. Be cool, wouldn't it? Yeah. So, anyways, like I said, there is a demonic realm here, and the fallen angels are incarnate here. Remember, and what are the fallen angels? Those that maybe have 33 in their name. Watch the video. End game. And some of the ones that change their name from the 33, or sometimes take it away so everybody can't connect the dots together. Okay, your name or phrases like Hawaii 33, right? Why does it coinky dinky go to the 33? One atmosphere is 33 feet, right? 1 fathom is 66 feet, 33 times 2. Who made this up? It's all the 33, right? Look at the UN's flag, right? Count all the little sections on that map. It's not a globe, but check out all the sections. It's a flat Earth map, right? But we don't even know what the position, what this place is. I just know basically, look, I'm not standing sideways, that's all. I don't know how big this place is. No, I don't. No one does. Unless the very select few can go beyond the wall, right? Like in the Game of Thrones, and what lives on beyond the wall? Maybe another game. maybe a completely different game than this one in here, which is really a good training ground, right? Forget the victimhood, guys. It's a training ground. And your job is to be like on the chessboard, and you're supposed to go ahead and walk through this place as critical thinking as you can, and you need your friends to help you. Remember, think of it as like sort of walking through the valley of shadow of death backwards. You need some help, man, because you need eyes behind you. You need another person that's going to walk backwards, or they're going to walk forwards because they're going to be back to back, so they can look that way and you look this way. And it'd be good to go ahead and have someone standing sideways like this, because the more eyes that can see and decode the matrix, then the more better decisions that you could make in the future. Remember, guide your ship to the future. Or are you sort of like a rat being led to the cheese on the bait, on the rat trap, right? And that's not everybody, like I said, but it's a lot of people. It's hard to go ahead and help people. People want to be able to try to go ahead and help themselves. And again, just to finish this off here, estrogen is everywhere. Like I said, it's in your plastic, it's in your pesticides, herbicides, it's in your food, it's even in your water, right? Why? Because there's chemicals in your water. There's even fluoride in your water, right? There's chloramines in your water, chlorine in your water, and plus a herd of pharmaceuticals that of course never get cleaned out because all the water's used water, right? It's not new, it's used. Surface water is used, but all the primary water, just so you know, is underground. Primary water is underground. We use the surface water, but the primary water is underground. Yeah, you can look up Deborah Tavares, stopthecrime.com. She has a good video on that primary water. Go ahead and check that out so you can go ahead and see. There's so much water underneath us. Why don't we take it out? It's because we control the surface water, because the bottom water, right, the underneath water is an infinite supply of water. Like I have a waterfall over here in the creek right behind me, right over here, and it's an artesian well, 1,000 feet up the road there. It comes right out of the ground, and it never stops, no matter how much drought there is, because there's a huge lake on this big island here, and it comes from just caverns of water. That maybe that water that's going down the river there, maybe it's 100 to 1,000 years old, who knows? Because the water going in comes in from the snow, right? And it doesn't just go away, it doesn't just go back in the ocean, it just keeps coming out on this part of the island over here, because that's the only side that has waterfalls and spring fed. Okay guys, everybody's coming over. It's hot for me out here. Hi guys! And I'm just bringing down a little sweet food for them so they can all learn that I'm their new daddy. Because we had to pick these guys up. I showed a video on how we got them, you know, how to pick them up and everything. And it's sort of traumatizing, taken away. There's 5 different families here. And you can see they're part of the same family. Okay, they've paired up. Those guys over there. Okay, that little group over there. So yeah, we got to make ourselves some shelter. And just put them in a few days ago. Okay, that's it. Aloha guys, and stop the soy. Stop all the estrogen. Work out really hard, okay? Intense. Again, watch the video that I'm going to put out, probably be out in a couple weeks, on my training routine. Yeah. And it's not just training. Again, guys, you put a lot of estrogen in your body, you think muscles are going to grow, do you think you're going to get strong, do you think you're going to regenerate? Remember, stop the estrogen. Stop it. But, I know. Remember, all the bags that are sealed, remember, they seal. Don't eat anything in a bag or a can. The top of the, and I've done a tip of the day on this, the top of the bag, remember, they heat sink that thing. So you got potato chips, let's say, organic, schmorganic, and the whole bag's made out of metallic mylar and a bunch of other stuff with whatever. And you heat sink the top, you heat it up, and it melts it together, and it puts in these very, very, you can call them strong chemicals. And all it takes, just like with the atrazine, it's just, you're talking parts per billion, not million, parts per billion. And then they accumulate in your body. And if they accumulate in your system there, guys, we can see it. Take your clothes off, look at yourself, and see if you've been estrogenized. That's enough. Aloha, guys. And here, let me take this off and see if Hodo, because he doesn't like the, show me your wings. Show me your wings, Hodo. There he goes. Show me your wings. Got a little bit of wind going right now, so when he puts his wings out, he wants to knock them over. Want to show them your wings one more time? Okay. That's it. Aloha, guys. No more estrogen for you.